So I just wanted to show you guys before I start this garden tour. I don't have the best camera. I'm literally on my cell phone, so I can't show you how great this actually looks. But we put lights on our fence and it just makes the garden glow. And we have like this cute little, it's Canada Day. That's not warfare in the background. And then we have like these cute little trees that are lit up. But yeah, how gorgeous is it in a little small space to have this lighting and just make it look so beautiful. The dog's just out here like unproblematic. She don't care about fireworks. We got so lucky that we had actually all of our dogs, all three of our dogs, not one of them had an issue with fireworks. Thank God. But anyways, let's get this garden tour going. Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So I have tucked my patio furniture in because tonight it appears we are going to get, sorry, I'm just trying to not shake my hands for you guys. I find a lot of my videos are shaky, but I literally can't help it. Anyways, we've got everything tucked in, all of our patio furniture and everything kind of tucked in because we're supposed to be getting here in southern Ontario overnight the remnants of that hurricane. So everything has been hunkered down and kind of moved about. But we have a garden tour. I'll do it really quickly. The first part of that video you seen was last week. It was Canada Day. We had the dog outside and we were watching fireworks and seeing the garden at night, which was so nice and probably different for you guys. But moving quickly so I can get inside, we have got celery. And the celery is looking fantastic, I must say. So we've got our patch of celery. Green onions, they're doing fantastic. We actually are so I think couch grass, man. I was just told that this was couch grass. That's what it's called. It's just like overtaking everything this year. I have been trying to be on top of weeding the best that I can. It's a little bit better now that things are actually growing because it does suppress the weeds better than when it's just like all open. I tried adding mulch. I hated it. I hated the way it looked. I hated the amount of extra bugs that it brought in, considering the amount of bugs that we already have this year in comparison to last year's. So I did mulch and then I immediately took it right off. I don't know. I might try again next year with a different method and see, but for now, I'm just doing the bare soil. But I had set up a trail camera. We found that those bunnies that were in our garden were coming back and they were eating our strawberries. So we think we've kind of fixed the fence at the bottom so they can't get back in. The dogs do a pretty good job about like deterring them out, but of course we can't see them at dusk and dawn because we're usually inside doing whatever. But anyways, we've got some strawberry activity. They haven't completely demolished it because, like I said, we kind of got it under control now. Couch grass is trying to take over this asparagus. We have things tomato caged and in place for tonight. The zucchini, it's got diatomaceous earth over it. It also is tomato caged down because the wind lately has just been like literally ripping my plants right out of the ground. So if it's not weather, it's bugs. If it's not bugs, it's bunnies. It's just been a time. But you can see some of the damage. But I do have a ton. And now these are ready to pick for my zucchini bread. I have got a ton of zucchini activity in here. So very productive despite the earwig infestations that have literally demolished my plants. I have cucumber beetles in here. I'm sure if I zoomed in on one of these flowers, they're not open right now, but battling cucumber beetles. battling earwigs. The squash bugs haven't invaded yet, but I'm waiting for that. Next door I have trellised, and I've got my cucumber, which is, oh, there's a cucumber beetle. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that, or maybe I'm just, see him? That's what a cucumber beetle looks like. So that's been fun. With these cucumber beetles, I'm having a really hard time getting any cucumbers. I'm trying to see if I can find, oh, there's one for you. They are coming, they're just having a difficult time. But this year I am using this like trellis and it's doing okay. I can't get to the couch grass and whatever's growing back there. I might try again tomorrow, because in front of it we do have carrots. Next door I have beans. So we've got these beans were completely demolished by bunnies. I had to replant. And then these ones on this side were completely demolished by earwigs. So I had to replant. They're looking better now after a couple weeks, pretty most all of June basically. We had laundry baskets over top of them to deter the bunnies, diatomaceous earth all over them for the earwigs. But it has just, it's been a time in this garden in particular. In the garden in behind me, it's not as bad. It's been okay in terms of bug damage. We do have peppers growing on pretty much every plant. So here's some peppers here. I've got nadapinos here. We've got these cool ones back here. I'm not really sure if you can see them, but pretty much all, like I said, all of the, I have a ladybug. We love ladybugs. I've got peppers growing pretty much everywhere, which is nice because last year wasn't the best pepper year. And I actually did this entire bed of peppers this year. In behind it is a trellis, which is trellising up honey nut squash. We don't have anything yet. I have seen some flowers, but all along the bottom I planted honey nut squash. Moving into our salsa garden, yay! So the salsa garden is on its way. We have at the back tomatoes, and they're just like finally starting to, I was very concerned about my tomatoes. I don't know about you guys, but it's like one day it was like 33 degrees Celsius out, and then the next day it was like 15, and night temps were like 5 and 6 degrees. And that's here in southern Ontario. So that was super problematic for things like your peppers and your tomatoes, who don't necessarily love that cool of temperatures. So I was really concerned actually. But I do have some black crims coming up there. I actually ended up having to, so I personally went in, and the plants were probably only a foot tall and they started flowering. So that for me was not a good scene. The plant hadn't even established itself before it started trying to shoot off flowers and fruit. So I was coming out here and picking off all of those flowers and kind of forcing it to grow up. And in the last, like, I would say 2 weeks, they really shot up. Like, we're talking, we went from like maybe 2-foot plants and now we're up well over 6 feet. So these are indeterminate tomatoes. These are those super sweet 100s that we were using for our feta sauce. We decided they're unruly. They are unruly. Always. Anything at the back of the garden is just unruly. I cannot reach back there. Maybe one day I'll have a garden bed that I can walk all the way around. But in front of it we have onions, and we also have garlic. There is basil in between. The front one has been completely eaten, and the one in behind it's still doing okay. But I've got these onions. They're almost done. The garlic is pretty much like, we're probably a week away from pulling it. We had garlic scapes, and I made that garlic scape butter that you've seen. But yeah, these are pretty much good. And then at that point I can be able to get back there, do all of the trellising and pruning that I need to do. And I also am going to figure out what I want to plant here in front of it, because I'm not going to just leave an empty space. I want to utilize the space. The only other thing really to note in this garden this year, I don't like the herb garden. I feel like it's just, first of all, I got to come out here and fertilize these plants because they're just yellowing right in front of my face. It's not like as full as I thought it was going to be. You know, a lot of things bolted. Like I said, we had this insane weather all of a sudden. Within like a day, everything was out here bolting and dying off and hating its life. But I don't, the comfrey plant, like it's coming out of the garden. I need to come out here and snip that. I've got tons of chamomile I've been pulling off every day. I want to do more chamomile plants in the future for sure. The one year I had like a herb ladder and it was like overfilling with chamomile. I loved it, but that's my stevia plan. I'm going to start harvesting off that soon. But yeah, I need to come through and completely fix this situation. And then my apples, coming over here to my apple plants. This one, so this was a whole victim of weather. Everything was out here blossoming. I think I showed you guys. The trees were beautiful. These are my dwarf apple trees that I have in containers. They used to be on the patio. We moved them out here this year. And beautiful flowers. Everything was pollinated. We were looking great. And then we got a cold snap. And most things died off. I do have a couple apples on this one. I think there's like maybe 6 apples total on this one. But I mean, not the harvest that I thought. And then there is a couple stragglers over here that are just like why? What is this life? This year, like I said, between bunnies, pests, the weather, I am over this garden. We've got some dahlias. I've been making sure to snip these off so that we continuously get new blooms. And then I did have another dahlia over here. But yeah, that's it for our garden this year. As of July, I thought I would give you an alright tour. That's it for now. We will talk to you soon. Bye.